I'd like to support a tradition of having a small story before the main part of our event. So here it is. When I was a child, my dad suggested that I read a book by a not very famous Russian author. The book had a really cool title, When Fear Disappears. It inspired me very much. I read it 3 or 4 times, and it wasn't boring to me. The book tells the story about friends that grow up together, both become professional boxers and have successful careers. They often meet their fears and overcome them. But the Second World War starts and they have to go fighting. They pass a rush courses of airmanship and become fighter pilots. They struggle with fury, becoming highly skilled pilots. Every day they face death, but stay fearless and brave. Unfortunately, one of them falls down and dies. Despite the story being said, it has an idea that I'd like to expose. We often believe that the opposite of fear is courage, but courage is weak without power that supplies it. The power name is passion. The guys from the book are really passionate about boxing and then about flying and fighting. It helps them to overcome their fears. That's the point I would like to emphasize. Being fearless means being passionate about everything you've involved in or interested in. Being fearless doesn't mean not having fear at all. It means that you can overcome your fear by your passion. So stay fearless, friends, and be passionate. That's the idea. Now it's time to go over our current agenda. I'm going to start with some explanations why we are late and our development progress is a bit out of date. After that, I'm going to give a brief summary on our current development statuses. Then we're going to have a real-time demo of some new cool features. I'm going to show you some new mockups as well. Also, I'm going to share our vision for the first quarter of 2022 and how we see our development perspectives at that time. If you have any urgent and important questions, you are welcome to interrupt me during the demo by raising your hand. Actually, we will have a Q&A session at the end of the meeting, and I guess we will have enough time to satisfy your curiosity. Let's start with the difficulties and challenges we met while we were working on the app update. Since our team is new at Soromitsu and at the ecosystem, all the code we started working with was someone else's code. We were a bit familiar with almost everything, architecture, technology, etc. And we spent a lot of time studying and researching all the stuff. Now all of us are much more aware and experienced. The next point is an understaffed team. At the beginning, we just had one developer per platform, but later we understood that it's not enough. We could scale our team up to 2 senior engineers per platform, and we're going to hire at least one more developer per platform after the New Year holidays. Also, we had plenty of incoming urgent issues like fixing our own mistakes and bugs and supporting custom crowd loans on Polkadot. It was important and urgent, but it took time and other team resources. We apologize for some delays in our current progress, And our main goal is to deliver multi-asset support functionality as soon as possible. Let's turn now to a brief summary of development progress. Let's start with Android progress statuses. Wallets create import functions, lists of assets, as well as staking features work fine, and waiting for control testing. Asset details and basic features like send, buy, receive, transaction history are being bug fixed. They're about to be finished. Migration, and update from the app previous version and crowd loan functions are under testing now. It's worth mentioning that we published a new build that supports custom flow with a referral program for the Interlay project on Polkadot. Let's switch to iOS progress statuses. Almost all features seem to be done, but detailed testing is required. It's because of the huge amount of corrections and code updates related to metadata version 14. In fact, the upgrade brought us to serious architectural improvements and partial infrastructural revamp. The greatest challenge for today is to merge all these improvements with current progress. Then we'll be able to test the app, fix all the current bugs, and finally release it on the App Store. That's all about current dev status. Now let's turn to our release plan. As far as you can see, our Android build is really close to being finally tested and released on Google Play Market. The nearest few days, we're going to spend most of the time on testing, bug fixing, and improving application performance. Hopefully, and most likely, you will see the build next week. Regarding the iOS version, we've decided to take no chances. It's quite risky to release builds before Russian New Year holidays. So the build is expected to be on the App Store around the second decade of January. Also, we haven't completed some features and UI UX improvements for both platforms yet. It relates to the settings tab and its functions, like customizing user account set, some UI refinements or the main screen, and so on. All these features will have been available by the end of January. We've got the idea to start beta version distribution soon that will be announced on our social media channels, and we're really appreciate your participation in the testing and be very thankful for your feedback. So now it's time to start with the demo. I'm excited and I'm a bit nervous about that because sometimes something goes wrong, but let's start it. Let me remind you of some basic ideas. I'm sure one of the most inconvenient things in the current version is that you should switch between different accounts in the app to get access to tokens that are there. Another issue is that it's necessary to manually add any new network or parachain in the app. So this implementation of multi-assets accounts or wallets solves all these inconveniences. Some words about updating the app from the current version. Since we had time limitations, we decided to choose the safest but not the most convenient way. It means that as soon as the update has been installed, you will have as many wallets as the number of accounts you have in the current app version. The way excludes any possibility to lose tokens that you expect to see in your wallets after the application update. Let me give you an example. Now I have three accounts. The first is on Polkadot, the second one is on Kusama, and the third one is the Western account. As soon as the app's been updated, I will have three corresponding wallets. Thus, if you contributed to some ground loans on Kusama, you will see your rewards in this wallet. The same is for Polkadot and Western accounts and wallets. I hope it's clear enough. In the nearest future, you will be able to customize your wallets and add or remove their chain accounts according to your needs. So let me show you how we can create our wallet. For that, I should switch off this presentation and I need to switch to my phone. So to create new wallet, I should go to my settings tab, choose accounts, option, and choose add account. So I can choose create account or import account here. Let's choose create account. And that's the main difference with the current version. Users don't have to choose a chain or network anymore, and user just need to come up with the wallet name. So let's make it Alice test. So application reminds us that it's unsafe to do to take some screenshots. So it's better to write down your mnemonic. We can proceed to the next step. For users, it's better to complete this confirmation step to be sure that they have written the proper mnemonic order and proper mnemonic phrase. But for now, we just skip this process. Okay, here it is. Here is our new wallet. We can see the list of assets here, but they are all have zero balances, unfortunately. Actually, importing accounts looks quite similar. We just recall, we should just recall our mnemonic phrase and again come up with the name of our wallet, but immediately after that we will see our wallet and assets list. Just a moment. Let's go back. I'm going to use my account where I've already have some tokens. That's this one. Let's have a look at our asset details. For example, Karura. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to set up the subquery projects for some new assets. So transaction history is available only for Polkadot, Kusama, and Western networks. And as we can see, some error occurs while the app trying to fetch the history. All assets details transfer to this section at the top of the screen, and they are shown in more convenient and systematic way. All kinds of tokens are visible with their current rates in fiat, and detailed information about locked tokens is available as well. Let's try to make some transfers. So I should switch to another account to use the receive function. Let's try to transfer some Karura tokens. I can use here the receive function, and I have some options to do that. I can screen the QR code here, or I can use the system share function and share this address using Telegram or text messages or emails or something like that. But it's not convenient for me for this flow. And I would like to choose just copy address. So it's switch because I'm closing the light detector by my finger. Okay, let's move back. So I'm switching to my account with the tokens, and let's try to send. So that's another interesting feature that we have in this version. Logic of the app will check if the address belongs to the network. Otherwise, you can see something like that. So make sure that the address is from the right network. So yeah, we can see the screen with details, like we can see the address we would like to send to. We can see our current balance or available transferable amount, and we can see some options, how many tokens we are going to send. So it's quite convenient, I guess. So, but we can choose just one Karura token. We should wait a bit for transfer fee has been calculated. We can press continue. So that's the final screen to confirm that everything is correct. And let's confirm the transaction. We should wait a bit. Yeah, it seems like the transaction has successfully finished. So to be sure that we got the tokens on other account, we just go there. Yeah, that's great. So we can see one Karura here, but unfortunately we can see some errors. That's how transfer how transfer works. So actually we have some functions that we we already had the current version, like buy function, but it's available just for Kusama and for Polkadot. So here we have just two options, ramp and MoonPay service, and we can choose one of them, and the application is forwarding us to the web server of this service. Here we can choose the amount of cryptocurrency that we would like to buy, and but definitely the process is not so easy like it seems to be, but you have to take some KYC steps and so on. Let's move back to our application. Some words about crowd loans and staking functions. Actually, the UI of these steps and screens has had some minor changes. The network switches has been added, so you don't have to do some extra steps to manage all these functions. Let's have a look at that. For example, now we at this on the screen of crowd loans, and the switcher is on at the Kusama state. So here we can just switch between networks, and it's easy, so you don't need to have some extra steps to get access to the crowd loan lists. So we can go to some up-to-date crowd loans and make our contributions. So it's quite easy. To check some staking functions, I should switch to a special wallet with a Western account. And I've staked some tokens here. So let's have a look at the balance, detailed balance. So we can see the history of staking rewards here and some transfers. So it looks like everything is fine with my staking. Yeah, let's switch to our staking function. And here is the same. Here we have the same switcher. We can switch between DOT, Kusama, and West End. And we have the same block of the screen, the same field of the screen with some educational stories and the summary information about the staking on the network. So let's try to, for example, stake more. Go to staking balances. Yeah, we can see how many tokens we've already staked here, and we can add, for example, one. Yeah. And finally, we can confirm here. So transaction submitted. So it seems like we've successfully staked one more token. And probably some words about setting step. It works similarly, except for the switching function, actually, because now you can switch wallets instead of switching accounts. All other features work the same way, like networks, languages, change PIN code, but I'm not going to change it. And about, so all these features work the same way. And just this one has been changed. Oh, we've already observed how it works. Accounts customization will be available in the release right at the nearest one, and I will tell a bit later about that. So I should switch my phone here, and I need to return to my presentation. Let me do that, please. Yeah. So there is a question here. Yeah. Don't you mind? I will answer the question a bit later. Yeah, we have some plans to have a desktop PC version, but it will not the same, or it will not look the same. We've already done some preparations, and there are some mock-ups regarding the desktop version, but it's too early to discuss it probably. So I would like to show you some final screenshots and explain how it's gonna work. At the end of my demo, I would like to show you these screenshots. While we were working on the app update, we came up with an idea: why not have as many chain accounts of one chain as the user demands? Actually, we don't have any technical constraints. In that way, our design team has slightly modified the main screen UI and some flows corresponding to customizing a set of new chain accounts. Here they are. Here you can see these improvements here. As you can see on the screen, each chain account may have two badges. The first one relates to the case when we have, for example, Kusama token on the state mine parachain. We should mark the asset with the badge state mine. The second one marks the name of a chain account if we have more than one chain account per network. Settings screen shows this corresponding flow. If we have a unique chain account, we don't have to mark it. Since we add some new accounts of the same chain, we should mark them with badges. There will be some UI UX flow to customize and to name these badges according to user needs. Unfortunately, these cases and flows haven't been implemented yet, but they will be available very soon. I will show you how it works in the next demo. So some words about our perspectives. As it's clear from my presentation, multi-asset functionality remains the top priority issue until we have completed working on it. The next important issue is Moonbeam and Moonriver integration. Moonriver and Moonbeam token support will be added to the wallet functions. You will be able to see your balances, send and receive tokens, and a bit later, the staking function will be available as well. In terms of transfers, that scope of work has partially completed. but we still need some time to make it completely, to complete it and to finalize it. Unfortunately, we had to postpone the staking analytics release to later dates once again. The staking analytics functions will be developing in January and probably a bit later. Also, we are going to support some crowd loans with custom flows as well. So if you are a team that is going to take part in crowd loans, welcome to contact with us on that issue. But usually it takes time to prepare our application to some custom flows. It's better to do this or to schedule that in advance. And by the way, more details about our roadmap and about our nearest plans are available on our public AHA website. So you are welcome to go there and to find out more about our future plans. Okay, if we don't have any questions, I guess we can finish our demo. So I should remind something else about our current crowd loans. All Kusama and Polkadot crowd loans are supported in Fearless Wallet. It relates mostly to regular crowd loans without any customization. And as I mentioned before, if your project wants to implement any custom flow, please contact our team to schedule that. Crowd loans rewards will be visible in our wallet as soon as version 2 with multi-asset support is released. So after updating the app, you will be able to see all your tokens, reward tokens, and you will be able to manage them. In case of extra urgency, you can export your account to the Polkadot.js web application and manage your tokens there. We can conclude our demo, and because we have a lot of funny time in the future, because we have some holidays, I would like to congratulate all of you with Christmas and New Year. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all you and to all of us. And finally, stay fearless, friends, and welcome to our next demo. Thank you so much.